Most middle-class people don't fail financially because they're irresponsible. They fail because they follow the rules they were taught. They work hard. They earn more over time. They make what looks like smart decisions. And yet, they stay stressed, overworked, and one emergency away from panic. Not because they're bad with money, but because modern financial traps are designed to look like progress. Today, we're breaking down every major financial trap the middle class falls into, quietly, slowly, and often without realizing it, so you can finally see what's been draining your money, your time, and your future. Lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is the most socially accepted financial trap. It happens when your income increases, and your expenses quietly rise to match it. A better phone, a nicer apartment, more eating out, a slightly more expensive vacation. Nothing dramatic, nothing reckless. But here's the psychological trick. Your brain treats new comfort as the new baseline. What once felt like luxury becomes normal, and what was once normal now feels like sacrifice. This keeps the middle class permanently stuck. More income, same stress, no real freedom. The danger of lifestyle creep isn't spending more. It's never feeling ahead, no matter how much you earn. The car payment treadmill. Cars are marketed as symbols of success, but financially, they behave like moving liabilities. The trap isn't buying a car. The trap is normalizing monthly payments. When the middle class accepts everyone has a car payment, they unknowingly lock themselves into a loop. Finance a car, pay monthly, trade it in, restart the loan you never own. You only rotate debt, and because cars depreciate, you're often paying interest on something losing value every day. The treadmill keeps you working, not for mobility, but for image and convenience. The minimum payment illusion. Credit cards don't trap people with interest rates. They trap people with minimum payments. The minimum payment creates the illusion of control. You're not defaulting. You're handling it. You're still solvent, but psychologically, minimum payments delay pain, not debt. Most middle-class households carry balances not because of irresponsibility, but because minimum payments make debt feel manageable. In reality, you're paying mostly interest. Progress is painfully slow. One setback resets everything. This trap feeds on patience and optimism. House poor. Home ownership is sold as stability, but many middle-class families become house poor, owning a home that owns them. The trap looks like this: mortgage, property taxes, maintenance, insurance, repairs, utilities. Your income rises, but your flexibility disappears. You have equity on paper, but no emergency buffer, no mobility, no breathing room. House poor doesn't mean you bought too big. It means you bought too early, or without margin. The whole life insurance scam. Whole life insurance is marketed as protection, investment, wealth building. But for most middle-class families, it's an inefficient hybrid. The trap is complexity. It sounds sophisticated. It feels responsible. It's often sold by someone you trust. But in practice, high premiums, low returns, long lock-in periods. Middle-class money does better when it's flexible, not trapped in products designed for commissions, paying for inconvenience. Paying extra because you're tired, you're busy, you don't want friction. Food delivery, late fees, express services, subscriptions you forgot. Each one feels harmless, but together, they form a pattern, trading money for relief. The middle class often pays a convenience tax because time feels scarce and energy feels limited. The problem isn't convenience, it's unconscious convenience. 7. Keeping up appearances. This trap isn't about jealousy, it's about identity. Social media turned lifestyles into performances. The pressure isn't to be rich, it's to look stable. Vacations on credit, events you can't afford, brands that signal success. The middle class often spends not to impress strangers, but to avoid feeling left behind. This trap drains money quietly because it feels emotional, not financial. Retail therapy addiction. Retail therapy isn't about shopping, it's about regulation. Buying creates dopamine, control, temporary relief. For stressed middle-class workers, spending becomes self-medication. The trap isn't occasional purchases. It's using consumption to manage emotions. When spending replaces rest, boundaries, or fulfillment, money leaks without improving life. Frog 9. The retirement delay. Retirement is often framed as later, but delay compounds. Middle-class families often say, "I'll start next year. I'll increase contributions later. I'll catch up." The trap is assuming time is neutral. It isn't. Every delay transfers power from your future self to your present comfort. The danger isn't not retiring early. It's not preparing enough to retire at all. The side hustle trap. Side hustles are sold as freedom, but many become time traps. The middle class often takes on low-margin work, high effort, constant availability. Instead of building leverage, they build exhaustion. The trap isn't working more. It's working more without ownership, scale, or strategy. Not every side hustle leads forward. Some just extend burnout. Final realization. None of these traps feel dangerous on their own. That's the design. They work because they feel normal, feel responsible, feel earned. But together they create a system where the middle class works harder every year and still feels behind. Awareness isn't about fear. It's about choice. When you see the traps, you stop walking into them automatically. What's your ending? 4 to 5 lines, professional CTA. Understanding these traps isn't about blaming yourself. It's about recognizing patterns that were never explained. If you want more calm, clear breakdowns of how money and psychology quietly shape behavior, consider subscribing. And if one of these traps felt familiar, you're not alone, and now you're no longer unaware.